Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this 13 Now YouTube news update. We have some weather to get to. It is raining outside our studio in Menands right now. But first, we want to start with some news. Troy police have made an arrest in a homicide that happened back in July. We told you 39-year-old Alexander Crawford was killed on July 2nd. This happened in the area of 102nd Street and 2nd Avenue in Lansingburg. We want to go now to Dan Levy. He just spoke with police. And Dan, what are they telling you about this arrest?
Well, they're telling me, first of all, that because the suspect is only 16 years old, that he's being treated as a juvenile at this point. They're not releasing his name. You might be wondering, why did it take 6 weeks to make an arrest? Well, police had a pretty good idea who was behind this on July 2nd when 39-year-old Alexander Crawford was gunned down in that parking lot of the Family Dollar. And after, concluding their investigation, they began to wonder where this guy was, and they got a tip that this 16-year-old was hanging out or hiding out with friends at an apartment in Rensselaer. They obtained a search warrant, and they went there, and they made the arrest. And so good for him. You might wonder how a 16-year-old can elude and evade police for so long. Well, Police Chief Dan DeWolf told me that he's got a network of friends who might have been helping him out. Would those people be charged with aiding and abetting? And apparently DeWolf says no. We haven't reached that level yet, but they're just glad that they have this guy in custody. He was arraigned, and he's being held right now without bail.
And Dan, did they tell you anything about the nature of this killing? What may have led to this?
Yes, they did, and it's just a horrible tragedy. It's a horrible tragedy anytime somebody gets killed. Mr. Crawford went down to talk to a group of young people who apparently were bullying or teasing or giving his son a hard time. He apparently planned to talk it out with them, say, guys, what's going on? Knock it off. Well, after that discussion ended, apparently the 16-year-old pulled out a gun and shot Mr. Crawford. And police arrived moments later. They've been investigating for 6 weeks, and that led to the arrest yesterday up in Rensselaer.
Wow, just heartbreaking details, Dan. I know you'll have much more for us starting live at 4.
We sure will.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, we want to turn now to the weather. Looks like we have some rain, at least in Menands and parts of the capital region. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano right now, who is tracking this all for us. Paul, what are we looking at here?
Well, you called it. There's rain coming down right now in Menands, a pretty heavy rain shower over downtown Albany. Also, Stella, you can see here on the CDPHP first warning cams, we put it up. We'll be looking at those heavy rain showers over the downtown area on the CDPHP cam. Do you have that or not? If not,
we do.
There
okay, there it is.
Perfect. Excellent shot. Thank you. Yeah, you can see
that.
how the visibility is obscured when looking over into the skyline from East Greenbush, and that's an indication of how heavy the rain is. Then when you look from downtown, you can see the rain showers coming down here, and it looks like a few hundredths of an inch of rain with temperatures dropping back thanks to the clouds and showers we see out there. First warning live Doppler radar really showing the rain now coming in right along 787, portions of I-90, that downtown area, the state capitol, out toward, let's say, 9W, and the heaviest rain continues down past Bethlehem over into the Delmar area, the Five Corners, and out toward Furbush and Slingerlands. We're also seeing some heavier rain. This is just one shower that's popped up. You can see as we expand the view, not a whole lot going on Troy, out towards Schenectady and elsewhere, but we do have some showers now, southern Vermont and northern Berkshire County around North Adams, Pownell, and Bennington, and also a scattering of showers up near Lake George on the upper Hudson Valley area. And really all this is just some instability rain coming through with that upper level disturbance. So you could see now that we've expanded the view to include our entire area, not a lot of landscape covered by rain, but a lot of people getting rain, particularly because there's that shower downtown. Notice temperatures are approaching 80. So where it's not raining, we've had in and out sunshine. So it's been quite warm. And I do expect some of these showers to persist off and on through the afternoon. So bring the umbrella if you have plans this Wednesday afternoon. I think we'll gradually see improving weather as we get into the night tonight and into the day tomorrow. Notice temperatures going back up toward 80 with more in the way of sunshine. Just the outside chance, Stella, of a passing shower on Thursday afternoon. But once again, I think tomorrow will be much drier than today or yesterday.
And sounds like the weekend's looking good as well.
Yeah, we're going to update the weekend forecast in a few moments. We'll have that for you at 4, but right now looking fantastic.
Perfect. Paul, thank you so much. We'll see you at 4.
You got it.
Okay, we want to turn back now to some news. Cohoes police have confirmed that the man arrested for allegedly firing a gun in Cohoes last Friday night is being charged in connection to that homicide that happened Friday evening in the city. I want to bring in Tessa Bentul, and she's been following this case from start until right now. She is here with the latest detail here, Tessa.
Hi, Stella. So the person that was arrested in connection to this homicide is Dante Mitchell. He's been charged with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of a weapon. And we reported this yesterday. These are the court documents that we got from Cohoes. And it details his arrest, saying that he was arrested for an incident that happened at 10:38 p.m. on the day of August 11th in front of 125 Main Street. Now, police have connected the link for us and are telling us this is the same incident that happened where a man died in a shooting. And that man's name is, let me find it really quickly. Shair Leggett. There we go. It's a complicated name, Shair Leggett. He died by twice, and one time in the chest, one time in the back. And police say that that is how he died. He died when he was transported to the hospital. And they're saying that there was 8 to 10 people involved in this shooting. And Mr. Mitchell was one of those people. And you may actually recognize Dante Mitchell because we did 2 interviews with him back in June. One time, our Tanika Penix interviewed him. Another time, Tiffany Payton interviewed him. And they were talking about this youth group that he started. He wanted to get at-risk teens to stay out of trouble and stay out of prison. Well, now he may be going to prison himself for being charged in these crimes. So we're going to keep you updated in this case. But Cohoes police are releasing limited information right now in the homicide case. But the chief tells us that there are going to likely be more charges for Mitchell, and other arrests are being made quickly because, again, there is multiple people involved in this homicide, in this shooting last Friday that killed Shair Leggett, who was 27 years old.
Tessa, can you kind of paint for us a picture of just what we know about what was happening downtown that night? Because it sounds like there were a number of people involved, and just how we know that, Mitchell may be connected to what was happening.
So the biggest factor for police here is surveillance video. At the corner where it happened, which was Main Street and Schuyler Street at this intersection, there's a corner store there, and then there's also some residential homes. And so there's city cameras, and then there's also cameras from this corner store. So police have been using both those angles from those security cameras to kind of figure out who is all involved in this. And I spoke to the police chief this morning to talk a little bit more about the case, and he said, you can see that people are shooting multiple rounds and everyone's kind of just running around in the video. So we've had to look at it over and over again to make sure we can identify each person, one of those people being Dante Mitchell. And again, they're saying they're making multiple arrests at this moment, and hopefully we can get all the details very soon.
All right, Tessa, thank you for staying on top of that story. We will see you at 4 o'clock with more details on what we know. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, that will do it for our 13 Now afternoon news update. Thanks so much for joining us. And remember, you can catch us starting live at 4 o'clock on News Channel 13 and always on WNYT.com.